We often hear these words in our society. Anyone can turn their life around. With enough commitment, anyone can become a great person. These are beautiful ideals, expressions of our faith in human potential, in redemption, in second chances. They tell us that change is possible, that no one is beyond hope. But today, I want to ask an uncomfortable question. What if this very belief that anyone can become good becomes the entry point for hypocrisy and the justification for moral decay? In our most sacred institutions, let me take you to a piece of ancient Eastern wisdom from the Joseon dynasty, found in the classical text Chaegeundam Chaegeundam. One passage reads, "Even a promiscuous woman, if she reforms her heart, can become a nun." 因本之福，教而为你. On the surface, this is a message of hope, a call to see beyond someone's past and to believe in their willful transformation. It's strikingly similar to the existentialist philosophy of Jean-Paul Sartre. Existence precedes essence. In other words, our identity is not defined by what we were born as, but by the choices we make. So far, so good, right? But allow me to challenge this with a deeper reflection. That very woman who once lost in vice now dons the robes of a newness she truly reformed? Or is the robe just a performance? Herein lies a dangerous paradox. The gate to purity can become the breeding ground for corruption. Another passage in Chaegeundam warns, those who burn with zeal may also enter the path, but that path itself can become a swamp of lust and deceit. 热衷之人，急而入道，清净之门，常为一些人守也. Let me translate that into our modern reality. Even the courthouse, the institution that should embody justice and truth, can become a gateway not to righteousness, but to corruption when we allow untested zeal, ambition, and superficial transformation to replace genuine ethical formation. In America, we believe in upward mobility, in the capacity of every citizen to serve, whether as judges, prosecutors, or pastors. But here is the question, do we demand moral clarity and inner reflection from these individuals, or are we satisfied with their outward performance? Let me put it more bluntly. When we say anyone can wear the robe, do we also mean anyone can pretend to be righteous while serving themselves? This is where idealism meets its shadow, when the language of transformation is co-opted by the ambitious, the cunning, and the corrupt. Hypocrisy institutionalized. French sociologist Pierre Bourdieu once warned that institutions often serve as sources of symbolic capital, that is, they become tools not of service, but of status. When legal and religious institutions are staffed by those who pursue prestige without introspection, they become theaters of performance, not sanctuaries of integrity. We then face what philosopher Jürgen Habermas called the colonization of the life world by instrumental reason, where moral reflection is replaced by efficiency, resume building, and careerism. In such a world, zeal becomes a mask, and the gate of justice becomes a revolving door for the performatively pious. The danger of moral pretenders. Eastern philosophy has long warned against this. Confucius said, "The noble person aligns his words with his actions. The petty person speaks righteousness, but lives otherwise." In Chaegeundam, when we read that a woman reforms and becomes a nun, we must ask, did she truly reform? Or did she simply don the garments of reform to access the privileges of her new station? This isn't just about women or clergy. This is about anyone, man or woman, judge or pastor, who learns to play the game of public virtue, while privately feeding their lust for power, money, or dominance. Zhuangzi, the great Taoist sage, warned, "Forced virtue is more dangerous than open vice. True change flows naturally, not by imitation." The moment we begin accepting performance as proof, we invite charlatans into the sanctuary. The banality of evil revisited. Let us recall the words of 20th century political philosopher Hannah Arendt. In her study of Adolf Eichmann, she coined the term the banality of evil. Eichmann was no monster. He was an efficient bureaucrat. He followed orders. He was committed. He was, if we may use the Eastern phrase, a man of great zeal. He did not question. He did not reflect. And therefore, he committed atrocities without remorse. This is the real danger of reizhong zhiren, when commitment is mistaken for virtue, when blind zeal is mistaken for moral authority. Likewise, Nietzsche warned us that morality itself can be weaponized. Morality is often the tool of the weak to gain power, and the strong will cloak themselves in it to dominate others. In today's world, we may see individuals who wear the judicial robe or clerical collar not as servants of truth, but as aspirants to influence. And the people? We trust the robe. We trust the appearance. And in doing so, we allow corruption to hide in plain sight. What truly guards our institutions? So I ask again, what guards the integrity of the courtroom? What protects the sanctity of the pulpit? Is it the law, the doctrine, the institution? No, it is the individual human conscience. The person who chooses integrity over ambition. The one who understands that power is a responsibility, not a reward. Let us not be misled by appearances. The gate to righteousness is not paved by ambition, zeal, or performance, but by ethical reflection, moral courage, and inner transformation. In closing, the robe does not make the judge. The collar does not make the priest. The office does not make the public servant. Let us remember, anyone can become a servant of justice, but also anyone can pretend to be one. That is the paradox, and that is the warning. If we do not scrutinize the heart as much as the resume, if we do not demand introspection along with intelligence, then the very institutions we revere will become sanctuaries not of justice but of well-dressed deceit. Let us be vigilant, let us be reflective, and let us remember that true justice begins not with institutions, but with the character of those who serve them. Thank you.
By subscribing and following the channel below, you can access deeper reflections rooted in the profound wisdom of Eastern philosophy.